Okay girls, homework from Friday. Okay, so number 9 to 14 on page 162. So number 9. So number 9 says there's a bag with 2 red balls and 3 blue balls. So they pick out a ball and they do it 400 times, and they say how many times would you expect to get a blue ball. So you work out the probability of getting a blue ball. So there's 3 blue out of a total of 5 balls. That's your probability, but that's of 400. Okay, so you would expect to get 3 blue ball 3/5 of 400 times. So of means you multiply. So into the calculator, 3/5 multiplied by 400, and that will give you 240. Okay, then how many times would you expect to get a red? You work out the probability of a red to start with. Okay, sorry, I have to do that wrong. There's only 2 blue and 3 red. So sorry, I wrote it down wrong. 2 blue and 3 red. So it's 2/5 for the blue. It's 2/5 of 400, which is 160. Right, the probability of a red, there's 3 red balls out of 5 balls in total, and you get that of 400 times. So because you did it 400 times, you would expect to get a red ball 3/5 of the time. Remember, of means you multiply. So into the calculator, 3/5 multiplied by 400, and that would be 240 times. Okay, number 10. In the experiment, a gardener plants 40 daffodil bulbs, of which 36 grew to produce flowers. Use these results to estimate the probability his next daffodil bulb will grow to produce a flower. So 36 out of 40 produced a flower. So there's your probability. That cancels down right to 9/10, but you don't have to cancel it down. Okay, number 11 is next. Number 11 is next. Right, okay, so number 11 says Ada spins a coin and rolls a dice. Some of the possible outcomes are shown here. Copy and complete. So you can get a head with a 1, a head with a 2, a head with a 3, a head with a 4, a head with a 5, or a head with a 6. You can get a tail with a 1, a tail with a 2, a tail with a 3, a tail with a 4, a tail with a 5, or a tail with a 6. So there are all your possible outcomes, and it has part 1 asks you for the total number of outcomes. Now you could just count them, and there's 12, or you could say there's 2 possible outcomes on the coin, there's 6 possible outcomes on the dice, so 2 by 6 means there's 12 possible outcomes. Right? What's the probability of getting head with a 5? So there's only, of all the outcomes, there's only one H5, so there's 1 out of 12. Okay? What's the probability of getting a tail with a number less than 4? So you have to get a tail, right, and a number less than 4. So less than 4 doesn't include 4. So tail 1, tail 2, tail 3, they're all numbers less than 4. So that's 3/12, which cancels down to a quarter. Okay? And probability of getting a 2. So it doesn't matter whether you get a head or a tail. It's just as long as there's a 2. So there's 2 of them there. Have 2, so it's 2 out of 12, which cancels down to 1/6. Okay? That's number 11. Next one is number 12. So number 12 reads, the probability that a biased die, bias means it's not fair, will land on a 3 up is 0.4. So your chances now, normally we've seen probability written as a decimal or as a fraction, but it can be written as a decimal as well. Okay, Mark rolls the dice 200 times, so you would expect to get a 3.4 of the time, because that's what it says it's going to be. So you just do 200 multiplied by 0.4, which would be 80. Okay, that's number 12. Number 13, 100 students go on a school trip, right, and they each either drink milk, water or orange juice. Okay, and it gives me some information already. Okay, so you have to try and fill in the empty blanks. Okay, so here I'm going to go with the totals. Boys, girls, add up to 100. So if there's 57 boys and there's a total of 100, that means there must be 43 girls, right? The other piece of information they gave me, 24 boys drank milk, 27 girls drank water, 24 in total drank orange juice. They also told me 1/3 of the total were girls. So 1/3 of 24, so into the calculator, 1/3 multiplied by 24, and you end up with an 8 there. So if 24 in total drank orange juice, 8 were girls, that means 16 must have been boys. Okay? The next thing here across the top, I have all the boys is 57 boys. So 24 drank milk, 16 drank orange juice, that's 40 accounted for. So there's 17 missing, so they must have drank water. Okay, here the girls were missing the ones who drank the milk, but 27 drank water and 8 drank orange juice, that's 35. So there's a shortage of 8 there. Okay, so 24 and 8 add up to 32. 17 and that add up to 44, right? And then just check, does 32, 44 and 24 add up to 100? Yes, it does. Does it? No, it doesn't. I've done something wrong. 68, it does. Sorry, it does. Yes. Okay, that's that. And then based on that table, they asked you a few probabilities. So they asked you, from all the students, so you're picking from everyone, that means you're picking from 100 people, okay? So how many people drank water from the whole group, doesn't matter whether they're boys or girls, you're picking from everyone, and you want to know how many drank water, that's 44 out of 100, that cancels down to 11 over 25, but you don't have to, remember you don't have to cancel down. Now, Part B says you're going to pick from the boys only, so I'm only picking from the boys. So I'm saying girls get out. I've only 57 left. So I want to know what are the chances from picking from the boys that he drank water. So 17 drank water. Okay, so that's my probability there. Okay, and that's number 14. Finally, number 16, or sorry, that was number 13. Number 14 brings us back to a bit of revision on our sets here. Okay, so it's saying from a class of 25 who visited Spain and Portugal, right? Okay, who visited both and who visited neither. So they told me there's 25 in total. So remember, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 parts, must add up to 25. In Portugal, 15. Okay, so in the Portugal circle there's 15. In the Spain circle there's 11 and 7 went to both, so there's 7 in the middle. So if 15 went to Portugal, in total in the Portugal circle I have to have 15. I've 7 in already, so that means there's 8 here. Right? In the Spain circle I have to have a total of 11. I've 7 in already, so that means I have to put a 4 here. And then there's 25 in total, so add what I've in. 8 and 7 makes 15 and 4 makes 19. So I'm short 6 people, so they must be on the outside, so they went to no place. So that's it. How many visited neither? We just did 6. Okay, now we're on to probability. So you're picking out of everyone, so you're picking out of 25. How many people went to Spain only? So that means they went to Spain. They're in the Spain circle, but they can't be in the Portugal circle, so that's just 4. Now, how many people went to Spain? So it doesn't say Spain only, so it doesn't matter that they went to Portugal as well. So it's just that in the Spain circle, that's 11 out of 25. And how many went to Spain and Portugal? Right, went to both, that's the people in the middle, that's 7 out of 25. And how many people did not, what's the probability they did not visit Spain or Portugal? So we know 6 did not visit Spain or Portugal, so it's 6 out of 25 is your probability. Okay, right, girls, remember you have, I don't have you tomorrow, we have a test on Wednesday. So a test on this chapter 8, right, probability. So between now and Wednesday you revise chapter 8. And if you have any questions for me, right, send me a message on chat and I'll get back to you. Okay, so test on Wednesday on chapter 8. So I'll just put up the test, you do it, take a photo and send it back to me. Okay, I'll explain more on Wednesday. Okay, so test Wednesday on chapter 8. Okay, so go back over the chapter. Any questions, message me on chat.